Welcome, Spiritual Mag. Update for November 2023. Now the news. Top of the news, which is pretty exciting for Fernando and I. Steven Spielberg, this month, actually I first saw it yesterday, released a Netflix series, Encounters. And the trailer image, I took one look at it and went, oh my God. And I sent it to Fur, and Fur went, oh my God. And we just got through talking about it. So he watched the first episode, and the synchronicities are mystical, I'm telling you. It's amazing. So, Mr. Spielberg, Fernando and I would like to meet with you and talk about collaboration on working together as he and I extend our arms out with our off-planet brothers and sisters to elevate consciousness. Very, very exciting and an honor. Also in the news, last update I mentioned locations and times for negative events to occur, possibly false flag or terrorist stuff or who knows what, because so much conflict, etc. is going on the planet. And I actually mentioned locations because the FBI did mention the same locations that I mentioned, that I had identified, and then I brought them up. So things are happening here in California. Now, last weekend, there was a fire beneath Interstate 10 in Los Angeles, and it disrupted a lot of people for I don't know how long.
Don't panic, just plan ahead. Following the fiery I-10 catastrophe and closure in downtown Los Angeles, countless Angelenos are now forced to find alternate roadways, routes, or alternate methods of transportation to get to where they need to go.
And now today's Thursday, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So in that period of time, 14 more fires have been lit beneath highway overpasses in the Los Angeles area. So it's you know, you broadcast and people that have issues with pyromania, and it's like, so it's a time to think community, especially now. And that means if you see something, say something, okay? If you see some suspicious activities, around fires or whatever, get on the horn and contact the authorities immediately. And that includes statewide, okay? Because everybody's participating. Additionally, in the news, I'd say maybe about a month now, a gentleman I follow quite closely, actually every day, his name is Dutch Sintz, and he predicts or makes prognostications on amplitudes and locations for earthquakes. Well, he's accurate. I've been following, I don't know how many years I've been following, but he's accurate. It's no ifs, ands, or buts, he's accurate. Well, he's been getting a lot of static, big time in hassles, and now he can't get a decent, connection to work on disseminating his information. It's terrible. So when that happened, which like a couple of weeks ago, I said to Fur, something's up. Well, earthquakes are kind of going through the roof right now. Volcanic activity is kind of going through the roof right now. And I'm talking about planet-wise. There's always volcanic activity, but like right now, Iceland, there's a crack in Iceland. And there's one part of Iceland where they had more than 1,000 earthquakes in one day. A volcanic eruption came up off and made an island, a new island near Japan. And one of the largest, most active volcanoes on the planet, Mount Etna, is blowing up. And then not too far from that is Vesuvius, and Vesuvius is waking up. Well, I'm emphasizing this because this is kind of the inside thing. When I was a minister in training with Sylvia, everybody wanted to know, is California going to fall into the ocean? That was kind of the basic question. She's saying, no, it's not going to fall into the ocean. There's going to be, volcanic activity and earthquakes, and there'll be some pieces of edge of California that will flip over. They're not going to fall in. They're going to flip over because there's this trench down there that goes down 7 miles. So we don't know when it's going to happen, she said, but she says, I heard her repeatedly say, when Mount Etna is really taking off, that's probably the sign. She didn't use the word probably. She said that's the sign that the pole shift is getting closer. Well, Mount Etna's kicking it big time right now. Now, Sylvia, of course, is the person years before the coronavirus said the coronavirus was going to come and how it was going to come and how it was going to go away. She described it very well. So you have to pay close attention to what she says. I did.
In around 2020, a severe pneumonia-like illness will spread throughout the globe, attacking the lungs and the bronchial tubes and resisting all known treatments. The Post also predicts that the illness will go away super fast. It reads, quote, "Almost more baffling than the illness itself will be the fact that it will suddenly vanish as quickly as it arrived, attack again 10 years later, and then disappear completely."
Now is not the time to goof around. Now is the time to pay attention, because big problems are out there. Global problems, environmental problems, drug problems, societal problems, financial problems, housing problems, health problems, and problems solving problems, and problems getting people to understand that other people's problems affect everybody else. It's not like everybody's separate. Everybody's connected. Everybody's connected. That's just the way it is. Now, the time is not for people to go out and buy guns and get ready to fight each other. Now is the time to build community. And if we don't do it, then something really negative is going to happen. So the time right now is the time for each of us to go inside. Imagine that. Go inside and think about ways to resolve issues within ourselves and get closer to our Creator, our divine Creator. Now is the time to do that, especially with the immediate problems that are coming up at the end of the year and the beginning of 2024. And these last few months of 2023, Pluto comes into play, and that means transformation. Yes, each of us can make an effort at transformation. That includes meditation, sunrise, and sunset. And as we do that, we're going towards a consciousness inside of ourselves that addresses loving ourselves and others with unconditional love limitlessly. For some, that's called Christ consciousness. For many people that are residing in North America, South America, Christ consciousness is similar to the love that a mother has for her child. She doesn't want to deprive them of learning their lessons, but she'd like them to learn their lessons with the least amount of pain. Now, timing-wise, December 20th, things will be bubbling and cooking, I'm sure. And that's when Elena Danan is releasing her special on Christ consciousness. And I highly recommend everyone leapfrog from that to unconditional love within themselves and treating others in a respectful fashion. Well, it's easy to say Christ consciousness, but what the heck is that? And I said, it's like the love a mother has for her child. So that's about the closest I can get to describing what Christ consciousness is. And mothers hold and nurture and protect their children. That's what they do. So the Christ consciousness that I'm referring to and cultivating is a consciousness that's inside you now and was inside our Lord 2,000 years ago. So it was word of mouth. It was natural communication. It was intimacy with your loved one. And what's changed today? Everything's changed. We've got AI, artificial intelligence. You need to get your mind in a delta wave or a theta wave or a complete relaxation. Well, you can go to the Monroe Institute and you can download the equipment to do it. AI can do that. You can do that now. You can change your mind, the frequencies, the brain, your brain, the frequencies, by something you can order and have it come in. You listen to it, and you would sit there and meditate, and you will go within, and you will find inner residences that monks have spent years and years in a position up in some cave somewhere. You can do it in a few hours with the help of that. That's AI. Then you have the internet that can deliver it overnight, instantly. And then you have the digital way that the frequencies can be produced in your ears, the auditory frequencies, and the visual frequencies that can be delivered to your eyeballs can grab your mind in neuroscience and actually bring you to elevated consciousness results towards Christ consciousness. And I'm not joking about that. It's quite serious. And it's something that's not evil. So you can learn to love yourself more. You can learn to love others. You can learn to do healthy breathing, relaxation, release of unhealthy thought forms and emotions. Actual healing types of aspects you can do. It's epigenetics in a sense, in that the concepts that you hold and the environment that you reside in are going to determine your health and how you perceive things. And that means that your heart chakra opens up, okay? And what your heart chakra does has to do with your brain and your mind, and your brain and your mind are directly linked to the Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance that is a natural frequency of the planet, of the Earth, is actually a frequency that's a part of us, inside of us now, that we can access the same frequency, 7.86 cycles per second. And it doesn't take many people resonating at that frequency to make everyone else a lot easier, okay? The tide raises all boats. And it can be less than 1%. Less than 1% of people meditate. Well, Elena Danana and Dan Willis did a meditation focused on the Schumann resonance, and the Schumann resonance spiked when the meditation was done. And that was just a few thousand people. So if a sunrise and a sunset, you take responsibility for yourself in healing yourself and your loved ones. Go within, focus on the Christ consciousness that is described by Elena, and that is in you now, as you are already a spark of the divine. If you focus on that, everything gets better all at once, much more rapidly. And it's a way for each of us to learn to love ourselves and love others and avoid disaster and conflict. This is your opportunity for spiritual maturity. We will be here reporting and bringing whatever we can to help you and all your loved ones learn your lessons with the least amount of pain.